Okay, now we're going to take a look at the chorus progression from Money for Nothing. As with the riffs that we've looked at already, the chorus is pretty much the same idea throughout, but will feature, little variations and little extra licks and fills. What I'm going to do is play through this chorus for you, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So elements of the verse riff appearing in there, starting off by playing an E flat 5 power chord, which is actually played on the 1st fret of the D and the 3rd fret of the G. Then just drop that shape down onto the A and D strings to play the B flat 5 power chord. So he actually strikes open A and D at the end of the B flat chord, giving him time to get back to the E flat. So it sounds like this. Drop down to the E flat again. And then shift the chord up 2 frets to give us an F5. Sounds like this. And then an open D and G at the end as you take your fingers away to get to the next chord, which will be the G5. So play those first few bars for you slowly. 3, 4. Okay, then jump up to the G5, 5 on the D, 7 on the G. Take your 3rd finger away to play 5 on the D and the G. Add the 3rd finger again. Now add your 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the G. Oh, sorry, on the 6th fret of the B. Strike it with the 5th fret of the G. So that bar. Okay, so now we play the G5 power chord again. And then we play 5 on the D and the G. And then we pick up by playing the 5 on the D string, and then just play 5 on the G and the D. Then play a D5 power chord, which is 5 on the A and 7 on the D and the G. And then move it up another whole tone to E. Gradually build. I'll play that section through slowly because at first some of the riffs might not make that sense, and what you have to understand is that one guitar is doing one thing in one side whilst another guitar is playing a very similar riff in the other side. So don't be afraid to experiment with variations on the rhythm. I've obviously was only born with 2 arms, so I can only play you one guitar part at once. So I've only just chosen to take what I feel is the strongest guitar part out of the pair. So here's the chorus played nice and slowly. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're into our next verse. I'm going to play it through for you and then we'll break it down. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, as you can hear from the part of the verse that I just played, very, very similar to the beginning of our previous verse, but just some very, very small variations, namely on the G string around the 3rd fret and the 2nd fret, plus we include the 3rd fret of the D as well. Here's the first couple of bars. We go. What happens there is we're playing the D and G, and then add our 2nd finger onto the 3rd fret of the G string whilst playing the open D. Now play the open D and G, add the 3rd fret of the G, and then 3-2 open on the G. Then back to the D and the G, and then add the 3rd fret of the G. So that little 3-bar figure. Now we play the B flat power chord and slide that up to C. Okay, so 1st fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the D, and 3rd fret of the G, then just shift the whole chord up a whole tone. So all together so far. Okay, now we play another rhythmic variation on our open D and G, plus include the 3rd fret of the G. Similar kind of thing again in the next bar, which is just open D and G, and then add the 3rd fret G. So, and then we got an open D, and then 3 on the D and the G, to 2 on the D and the G, to open D and G. Okay, next bar. Again, just a very simple variation around the D and the G, adding 3rd fret on the D. And then we play 3 on the D and G down to 2, open D and G, and then open D and G again, then to 3rd fret. Sounds a whole lot more complicated than it really is when you play it. Let's have a listen to that last section nice and slowly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, you don't have to play all of these riffs exactly the same as Mark Knopfler did on the original. Anyway, I'm going to play through another chorus for you now. This chorus is predominantly the same as our previous chorus, just some few variations with rhythms, etc. So I'll play it through for you so that you can see how different it is. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pretty much the same as our previous chorus, just playing around E flat 5 to B flat 5, E flat 5, up to F5, then up to G5 for our riff, then C5, D5, and then we slide that up into the next riff. Okay, now we've got another verse progression, which is more of a kind of a down section for the verse. There isn't really a vocal part, it's more vocal ad-libs. So I'm just going to play through this section for you, and you'll be able to see how you can make variations to the riffs that you've already learnt, or just have a bit of fun and just jam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we head into another chorus section, and I'm going to play through it for you so you can have a listen and see what's going on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much the same as the previous choruses that we've been looking at, apart from the final bar of E. We build on the E power chord, then we pull off the D and the G at the 9th fret to the 7th, then back to 9, play 7 on the G, and then 9 on the D and the G. So we get... Okay, going to play through the next verse and chorus for you. Pretty much the same as what we've been looking at, so I'm just going to, go for it, play it based on the sections that we've already been using. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to head into a little instrumental breakdown section, no vocals here, which is based around the original riff. So I'll play it for you just to refresh your memory in case you haven't got it so far. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're into the Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free section, which Mark Knopfler obviously sings in his kind of, very slurry vocal style, whilst Sting is singing a very nice high-pitched melodic variation over the top. I must confess that this section just continues variations of a theme, really, based on our original riff, plus the riff which just really uses the open D and G strings. So I'm going to play a very small section of this for you and then just show you a couple of the licks that occur towards the end of the track, and then you're on your own. As I said before, it's just variations on a theme. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, just to finish off, obviously you've seen throughout the track, it's the same thing, little variations, very, very cool variations, but things that you can kind of jam on your own and that you can come up with. As I said, watching Mark Knopfler play the track live, it changes all the time. There are actually on the live version, there's a solo, but in the studio version, there isn't really a solo. There's a few licks that go from side to side. Just want to focus in on a couple of those licks for you. The first one is this little pentatonic lick. I'm going to play it, then we'll break it down. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, based around G minor pentatonic, bending the 5th fret up a whole tone on the G string, and then playing 3 on the top E, then play 3 on the top E, pull off 6 to 3, then play 5 on the G, back to 3 on the B, and then 3 on the top E, and then 6 on the B. So you get and back into our riff. There's a few other little bends. Very bluesy double stop bends around the 5th fret of the G and the B, and also holding the 6th fret of the B string and bending the 5th fret up a whole tone on the G string. But that little bending lick occurs quite a lot throughout the extended outro. There's also one of the other guitars plays this little figure, which is a little bending idea, playing 3 on the B, bending 5 up a whole tone on the G. Move that up a minor third to 6 on the B and 8 on the G, bend the G up, and then drop down a semitone to 5 on the B and 7 on the G. Okay, that pretty much concludes Money for Nothing. There's quite a lot for you to get through, but my advice to you would be to just really focus in maybe on the first couple of verses and choruses, get some of the variations down, and then have a little bit of fun with it on your own.